Lesson 24, student page 131. Opening exercise. In Lewis Carroll's Through the Looking Glass, Tweedledum says, the sum of your weight and twice mine is 361 pounds. Tweedledee replies, the sum of your weight and twice mine is 362 pounds. Find both their weights. The way to approach this problem is to assign some values to Tweedledum's weight. We're going to let it be x and Tweedledee's weight be y. Tweedledum says the sum of your weight, so he's talking to Tweedledee, y, plus twice mine, 2x, is 361 pounds. Tweedledee replies the sum of your weight and twice mine. His weight is, there's Tweedledum's, and then twice Tweedledee's is 362. Now, here's the thing. We could guess and check, but really, honestly, I think what I'm hoping you'll figure out is that it's just as easy to figure this out the way we've been working on it. And one of the things we've been working on is finding variables in the last lesson that were opposites of each other. So I think I love eliminating the middle variables. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply the bottom equation by -2. What's going to happen then is I'm going to rewrite y plus 2x equals 361, and then I'm going to multiply through by -2, -4y plus -2x equals, and now I've got to double this. Let's see, when I draw the line, I'm looking for some zero pairs, and where I have a zero pair is right here. So I find that -3y equals, and of course now this was a negative, so let me make that look a little more like a -724. And this is going to equal negative 363. So if I go through, divide by -3, what we find out is that y, which is Tweedledee's weight, is 121. That seems like a pretty good answer. Now we'll double check. Let's find out what Tweedledum's weight is. Let's give ourselves a new color to work with here. So Tweedledum, let's see if we have 121 for Tweedledum. I'm going into this equation here, y plus 2x. So we're looking for Tweedledee's weight was 121. All right, we're going to subtract 121 from both sides, and that means 2x is going to equal 240, letting x equal 120. And those are the weights of Tweedledum who tells her little brother Jack she is holding 20 coins, all of which are dimes and quarters. So it looks like we have D plus Q equals 20. They have a value of $4.10. Well, we're going to have to think about it. D is 10 cents. Q quarters are worth 25 cents. And if we add them all up, their total is 410 cents. I like to make everything in pennies. Life is so much easier. So what we're trying to do is figure out how many quarters and dimes does she have. And she's going to give him all the coins if he can figure it out. So what we know is we have one equation, D plus Q. But when we have two variables, we always need a second equation. So, but we also know that if we want to get the value, we're going to write a... Okay, so we have our value equation, and kind of want to clean this up a little bit because we got to make this work with the other one. 10D plus 25Q equals 410. Well, again, here we're in another place where if we could subtract, we'd be in good shape. I would rather multiply by, say, -10 and get the D's to go away. I'd rather multiply by -10 than 25 any day. So we're going to get -10D plus -10Q equals -200. When I add those together, I get -15Q equals I get positive 210. And if I divide both, divide both sides by 15. If I divide by 15, I find out that Q equals 14. So that means she has 14 quarters, and if D plus those 14Q equals 20, then she must have 6 dimes. Let's think about that. Does that work? Well, 14 times 25, 14 times 25 is 350. And we add to it 6 times 10, 60, and that gives us a total of 410. So that tells us that we do indeed have 14 quarters and 6 dimes.